What we're going to be doing today, as you can tell by the slightly different table, is we're going to be doing a 40k battle report. We'll talk through what mission we're playing, etc. Afterwards, but we've pulled all the models out to talk through the armies first, and then we'll set everything up. Because, as you can see, things could be a little bit bigger than infinity. So I'll talk through the selection of iron hands I'll be using. I think we're doing 2,250 points.
Yep.
So I have a Storm Talon with missiles, a Siege Dreadnought in a Lucius Pattern Dreadnought drop pod, a 10-man tactical squad with a Rhino, missile launcher, flamer, and there's an allied Order Xenos Inquisitor. We have a 10-man tactical squad in a drop pod. We have 9 Stone Guard, 3 Combi Plasmas, Parfist on the Sergeant, and a Librarian. We have 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, command squad of 5 Marines with Multigun and Storm Shield, the Forge World parts, and the Forge World Limited Edition as my captain. They are in the Crib Disc, which is counted as a... Is it Crib Disc? No, it's a
Dreadclaw.
That's the Dreadclaw, and the Crib Disc is the big one.
The bigger one.
That's just counted as a normal drop pod, but it looks pretty. Then we have a Rock Pattern Storm Eagle and a Fire Raptor. My Fire Raptor, I've put the wings at the up angle instead of down, because the down annoyed me, because if you turn the heavy bolters it shoots its own wings off, and that just annoyed me. We also have the Inquisitorial Space Cat to give her seal of approval to the army. So there we go, there's my 2,250 points. Bubbles, away! I know you're an Inquisitorial approved cat, but you still can't eat the Eldar Titan. Just to add a little bit, I have a few more iron hands. I also have some more Forge World heavier stuff down here and in the bigger cabinets upstairs out of the way. So, you know, we could have done a bigger game, but I think we'd run out of space. What we are going to do at some point is put 2 tables on the floor for a 8x6 floor hammer game, where we'll probably use all of these. So I don't want to bring the Reaver Titan out onto a table with the cat. So I'll give it to my opponent now to talk through his army.
Okay, here's the Dark Eldar army for tonight's game of 40k. First up, we've got a unit of Cabalite Trueborn. The Dracon on the left here is a blast pistol, close combat weapon. We've got 2 of them with shredders and 2 of them with splinter cannons. We've got a Ravager for heavy support here, tooled up with Dark Lances. A Raider with a Dark Lance, Splinter Axe, and it's crewed by 10 Cabalite Warriors with a splinter cannon. Over here, we've got a Venom with Racks in it. Another Venom with Witches in it.
Spot the theme there.
Another Venom with Incubi and Homunculus in it. A Talos Pain Engine with Heat Lance, and I believe I gave him Chain Snares. And we got our Scourge team. We got 2 Haywire Blasters, 2 Heat Blasters. The Solarite here has a blast pistol, and we got 2 Shard Carbines in there as well. Up here we've got the Flyer with Dark Lances, and I think, oh yeah, over here we have, I forgot to move him, the Dark Eldar Titan, who may or may not survive to the second turn, but I hope he does something cool. That's all I really want.
I'm not touching it, it's too spiky.
And we'll be playing it out, hopefully, around there. I'm thinking around there is where the bloodbath's going to happen. And we'll see you during the game.
Okay, the mission we're doing is basically the Lost Contact one. So we'll put 6 objectives out, and we start with... Is it whatever it's called. We're doing the one where you start with 1 and then in turn 2 you get turn 2. I think it's Escalation or whatever.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but basically you start with 1 objective, then you get 2, then you get 3, then you get 4, and so on as the turn goes on.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to place 6 objectives down. I was getting confused with the one where you get ones for each objective you hold. We're not doing that one. We're doing the one where we're playing across the board this way because we don't feel like a diagonal deployment, basically.
No.
Sorry, we're just being slack so we can sit down on our side and have beer and play 40k. So,
That's pretty much the plan.
yeah, the mission we're doing, I'll go and get the iPad now and look it up and give you the name, or I'll put it in the blurb below. But we're doing the one that, you know, you get more objectives as the game goes on, with the usual plethora of slay the warlord, etc., etc., etc. So
Yes.
we'll get back after deployment. To recap, I just looked it up. It is tactical escalation. It's called, but we're doing it. We're not doing it on that setup because the shape of the room makes it quite awkward. I've rolled my warlord trait. I've got the one where I can discard 2, which may or may not be useful. What did you get?
I got a 4, which gives me hatred.
Yeah, you hate me. You hate me lots. So, you've talked through your army, haven't you?
I've talked through the army, yes.
Right. So we're going to do deployment. My opponent got first turn, so he's deploying first. They will get back to you with odds and sods and get on with the game. Okay, the thin iron line. That is I've got a lot of models in reserve. I have a 5-man combat squad here. Looking at that, I'm feeling quite scared. I have a 5-man combat squad in here by this objective. Again, looking at that, I'm feeling quite scared. Not that. And I have a rhino with some troops in over there. And at the moment, I quite think it's quite fun because we got the statue facing off. Statue facing off. There you go.
It's a pretty cool shot.
I wasn't taking a photo of that or putting on the video at all. No. Anyway, so we'll get back at the end of your turn because I failed to seize. So here we are on the top of the first turn. All the Dark Eldar have surged forward, opened fire on the pitiful Marines that were on the board. That squad got wiped out, but it did, in their defence, take the firepower of that, both the big guns, because the other gun fired at these.
Both those.
That, and that.
So half my army.
And they only did it by 1 wound. One extra field no pain right at the end of the last wounding hit.
Yep.
So
that was awesome.
The missile pods and that open fire into those, decimated it down to 2 of them who have gone to ground. And hopefully we'll get some payback in the name of the Emperor in our first turn. We'll come back at the end of my turn. At the end of turn 1, my opponent's got 1 objective for capturing 1 and first blood. I've landed Dreadnought from most of the things inside of the D6 hits, but I've done a single hit to it. I have killed all the Incubi and their Venom. That's lost 4.
Yeah, it lost 1 to the Flamer and
3 to Melty Guns. Yeah. So that's looking a little bit like, oh dear. That gives me 1. That gives me 1 kill point.
Yeah, because that
point anyway.
Because
it's got 9, and I get 3 for killing it.
Yeah.
1 for each 3. That is a invisible Dreadnought because of the Psyker who's hiding all the way over there. And that's it. They're still hiding on that objective. So my opponent now is going to have his turn 2. So we'll get back to you at the Dark Eldar turn 2. The Marines in there have been wiped out. Dreadnought's lost its big massive flamestorm cannon. Lost a guy with a melter gun up there. Have they got another point for an objective? Yeah, they got that objective, so they're on 2 points. He ran away from the melter guns. Completely failed to do anything apart from 1 hull point damage to a Rhino. I blew the Stormbolter off.
Yeah, wow.
1 hull point and a dead Stormbolter on a Rhino. That's worth 900 points, mate. Should be proud.
Yeah.
And there you go. My reserve rolls for this turn were quite impressive. So we're going to have some more Marines turning up. Get to you at the end of my turn. And my opponent's not looking forward to all my Marines turning up now. Okay, so the end of the Marine turn. The reason I had so few troops on the board is I may have been slightly cheesy with the rest of the army.
But how pretty are they?
But they're my pretties, so they have to come on. The Fire Raptor came on, made a lot of noise, got distracted by some Dark Eldar breasts and didn't actually do anything to the radar, unfortunately. It did do a couple of hull points there. Well, one hull point there, wasn't it, from that?
Yeah, to front it.
It frumped it with the guns, with all the guns, I think, to frump that. Did it put weapon shots? No, it didn't put. It frumped that. Then the dreadnought run in and
squished my homunculus.
So siege drilled your homunculus. Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable because my brother captain is a little bit on the nut side. We think at some point in his induction a medic dropped him on his head a couple of times. He charged headlong into the giant Talos thingy and managed to parry your blow with his storm shield and then bat you seven ways from Sunday with a thunder hammer. So he's done two wounds to you.
Yeah, that's right. And it's put me in initiative 1 for us, isn't it?
Yeah, concussive. The melter guns blew that up. That was there. And then the flamer and all the Balkans murdered all the people inside.
Yep.
And over here, what Kerry has to do now is take nice Mr. Spiky off the board. Because Mr. Spiky met a rock pattern Storm Eagle. And it didn't end well. It really didn't end well.
But it was his first game and he killed something.
Yeah, Pentrin hit from the twin link las cannons. Oh yeah, and that squad got mauled by the librarian shrieking at them like a giant Jesse. And this guy, the Storm Talon, shot your Ravager.
Yes.
So now Dark Eldar have got some reserves that hopefully come on, including a flyer that may even up the score. But halfway through my turn, my opponent he forgot to roll for reserves, which it was a double-edged sword because he didn't have his nice little swoopy birdie things come on, which would have been cool. But he also didn't have his flyer on, which would have been blown so badly out of the sky when all those came on that it doesn't bear thinking about. Oh, and we have some No, we don't have invisible. Yeah, we got invisible termies, haven't we? Yeah,
you cast invisible now.
My psychic down there went.
But he perils
and made his leadership test and has got 3 up invulnerable and a bit nuts. So my side have gone a bit bonkers this turn, but they have blown the Titan up.
You've gone a bit Slay the Xenos, haven't you?
Yeah, apart from the gunner on that heavy bolter is going to be disciplined for being distracted by the witch's bosoms. He's going to be mind scrubbed when the Inquisitor finds him. But anyway, that's the turn. Opponent turn 3 now, and we'll get back to you at the end of it. Filthy Horrible Xenos turn 3. Sorry, Dark Eldar turn 3. What happened?
Everyone died.
The flyer came on, shot at that, and angered it.
Some.
Incurred the wrath of the machine spirit by scratching the paint. These guys landed and run to get that objective hiding in there, because that was one of your tactical ones for this turn.
Yep.
That moved up, disgorged its witches, which run into there and all died. Which wasn't the most successful thing in the world. And he shot lots at the librarian and did a wound. He did do a couple of wounds there, but I made my second feel no pain in the history of my Iron Hands army.
And the dice hated me completely.
And the dice hated you completely, yes. Oh, we still have yet to do the close combat over here.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll do that on camera.
Because it's the same time.
Yeah. So you've got your 4 attacks and I've got 3. So you do your 4 first. Hit me 3 times. Wound me on 2s. 2 wounds. I got my 3 up invulnerable, which I both make.
Yeah.
Because, well, I've hit you once, and I wound you once. Me. So how many wounds have you got? 3.
I've got 1 left, and you just killed me.
Oh.
Because it's
Bye.
Thunderhammer.
Yeah. Because you only had 1 wound left. There we are. So. And I'm going to consolidate 6 inches, so I'm going to run up here. Ready to stomp some people next turn. Yeah, and on to my turn 3. Okay, so this is the end of the...
Marines turn 3.
Marines turn 3. As you can see, there's a big cluster of Marines around. That's actually dead because the
it was awesome.
Warlord basically decided he was going to climb up, leap off heroically.
Very heroically.
With a 6/6 for his very, very heroic charge, and cleft it in twain with a thunder hammer. So I got a point for that. I think I got Slay the Warlord earlier with the Dreadnought, didn't I?
Oh yeah, the Dreadnought got the homunculus like into.
they've got that objective. The flyer was taken out by a lucky snapshot from the command squad hiding in the building.
Melter guns.
After the flyer failed to, because you jinked like a pro against the flyer. The Fire Raptor put some bullets into these and did nothing else. Psychic Scream wiped out the rest of that squad. Those guys are going to run towards your table edge just because this gun failed to gun that down, which is why he had to leap into combat to kill it, because you made every glance apart from one.
Yeah.
I made every jink apart from one.
In the game, mind.
Yeah, pretty much. That was like ludicrously hard to kill. He's Dreadnought's hot standard on that. The Thunderhammers made Terminators charged into combat, lost one charging in. And then the Sergeant hit with all 3 of his attacks, killed with all 3 of his attacks. And the other 3 Terminators failed to do a single wound. Well, they did 1 wound that you saved at your goal split. Yeah. So they are all going to be chastised thoroughly when they get back to the base. He's going to move across here and nonchalantly just stroll across just because you would join in the fun. But we think we're calling it there. Yeah. Because I don't like to usually call games early, but you have just got one. I got one model left. We could do. We'll do the combat on camera. You go first. I'd rather not to. Well. Just in case people say that you could have had a comeback. You've hit 3 times. Yeah. If you kill a squad, I'm going to concede. I've done a wound. You say that. And the sergeant fails to hit you. And the 3 other guys, so 1 hit you once, wounded, so do you make your ghost play? No. There we are. So we can call it. Good game. We are shaking hands. Yeah. It was a fun game. We don't hate each other or anything. So, there you go. It's the first big game of 40k we've had in a while. It was good fun. A few months, actually, wasn't it? Yeah. We may have been a bit silly in our armies because we went to pull all the big toys out. But that was it was fun. Next time we'll go for bigger and sillier. Apocalyptic. Well, this was almost apocalyptic. Yeah, but we can really go. I want to pull my Reaver Titan to come out. So the next time, if we can make space to have a big massive table, we'll probably have 4, 5, maybe 6 Titans in it. Reaver, Warhounds, Revenant. 3 Warhounds, Reaver, Revenant, 6 Titans. Yeah. And I may assemble my Phantom, so we may have 7. Because we may just go that silly. Yep. And the Thunderhawk. So we'll try. Fun. That's a lot of organising. But thanks for watching anyway. Hope you enjoyed something different. And we'll post some more videos next week.